Well, hey everybody, I'm the Crockett Cooner, and this is the Crockett Coonhound Show. And today, guys, I am in here talking coon dogs. That's right, one of my favorite topics. Now, for everybody that followed me, I told you guys we're going to get back to the hunting dogs, the heritage of what's going on here at the Crockett Coonhound Show. Because, folks, we have a ton of folks that are out there in the world and they've heard about hunting dogs. If nothing else, they just think hound dogs are neat looking animals. And they are like, I would like to have one of those as a pet. I might like to actually get into the outdoors in this way. They would like to have a raccoon chasing hound. They might. And they don't know where to begin. So the first thing we're going to talk about, guys, is paperwork on hound dogs. And I'm going to get into something. I'm going to use the UKC, and for those of you that don't know, that's the United Kennel Club. Now, guys, the United Kennel Club is a registry of dogs. There's many other ones. There's the PKC, the AKC. There's a lot of different registries where you can have your hounds registered and recognized. But I'm going to talk more about kind of when all this started and why it is important, okay, in one aspect. I'm going to talk both sides of the coin. That's something I kind of pride myself on here at the Crockett Coonhound Show. Now, the United Kennel Club, they started off February the 10th, 1898. So they've been around for a while, right? And their reasoning behind it, kind of their intent, was to recognize a wide range of dogs, not just hounds. That could be any type of dog, right? Any breed of dog. And they also wanted to recognize dogs that did more than just be good looking dogs, right? Overall, they were built nice, they looked nice, they were, just kind of interesting to have around the old homestead there. And one thing that they did was started recognizing raccoon hounds. Okay, now hound dogs have been around for centuries. There's even types of hounds that are extinct in other parts of the world. They're no longer even with us. You can't even find anything of them. But I'm going to start off just like the United Kennel Club did with the black and tan coonhound, because I used to be a black and tan owner and breeder and all of that, guys. And I'll just kind of give you a quick little thing. I did a little research to make sure I told you folks right. They started recognizing the coonhound breed at UKC in 1900, right there, right after they had got going. And the first one that they recognized in 1900 was the black and tan hound, and then the red bone in 1902, the English hound in 1905, the tree and walker in 1945, the blue tick hound in 1946, and then finally the plot hound. And when we get to the plot hounds, I've got something very interesting to tell you guys. I'm going to touch on it a little bit. But there's this debate in the world of coon dogs. It's kind of pretty well split. 50% of people say, hey, we definitely need a piece of paperwork on a hound. All right. The other part of it, they say, I don't care if that dog's got papers or not. Papers don't help it go into the woods and go hunting at nighttime. Now, this is quite true, but that's one thing that I do like about many of the Kennel Club registries, especially UKC, PKC. They have an individual area there in their clubs set up for actual working dogs. Now, you can see on the bottom of their paperwork that we have different things. They can have field trial champions, they can have night hunting, grand night hunting champions, meaning that they've won more hunts and things this individual dog. So first of all, I'm going to talk about why is it important, guys, to have a piece of paperwork, especially if you are new to raccoon hounds. Doesn't matter what breed. Why is this an important thing? Well, number one, you know what you're buying. Some hounds can be very expensive. Now, I will always argue both sides of the coin, guys. I kid you not, you could get $100 dog that's the best dog ever. Okay, but we're doing this underneath the pretenses that you want a family pet, that you want an actual working hunting dog, and that you want something that is legitimate. That's how I'm going to put it. It's not that, well, he's a hound and you buy this little young puppy and then it grows up and it's like, that doesn't quite look like a hound. Okay. So you do know for a fact what you're getting. Number one. Number two, if for any reason you were like, hey, I am planning on one of these days breeding my dog. My dog is awesome. He's learned how to go raccoon hunting. He's picked it up pretty easy. I've got friends that hunt and things around me. You will always have that piece of paperwork there. And if you breed this particular hound to another hound of that breed, the folks that you sell the puppies to or give the puppies to or however you do it, or keep one for yourself, you do know for a fact this is what we've got. It's black and tan hounds, and they can also get into mouth swabbing, DNA testing and things. They can trace them back because as we see, like I said, the black and tan hound with the UKC, they started registering it in the 1900s. Now, all this is good, guys. And looking on a piece of paperwork, you can say, well, this particular dog's father, was a grand night champion, a night champion. It's much like my old dog Hoss right here. Comes from extremely good hounds, and he was a good hunting dog, depending on who was handling him, depending on the competition, depending on him. There's a lot of factors there. But on any given night, he would in fact go hunting and do what we want him to do. Now I'm going to pick another group of dogs. I'm going to pick the Plot Hounds. One of the last groups of dogs to be recognized. Now, and this kind of goes for all the hound breeds. Folks, if you are new to hunting dogs and you're planning on getting into the Raccoon Hounds, the Coondogs, and you're planning on going out to hunting clubs, to these events that are hosted at hunting clubs that are UKC and PKC and AKC or any kind of a thing like that, you definitely need a piece of paperwork on a dog. A lot of people won't even own, especially a hound, without the papers. But there is also the other side of this coin, folks. If you don't care anything about paperwork, and trust me, there are tons of folks in the world still to this day that have a breed of dogs or a breed of hounds especially that goes all the way back to their like great grandfather or something that bought these in 1922 and they were never registered. But I promise you can put them in the woods against any other hound and they can hold their own. They can do it by themselves. They can do it with company, meaning you could carry this particular dog individually hunting for raccoons one night. He can do it on his own. You could take him with 4 other dogs or 3 other dogs and make a cast of 4, and he could do it just fine. But that right there is what I want to emphasize about this particular video for everybody that follows me. If you are new to raccoon hunting and you're like myself, you like to have something to hold in your hand. If you have, for a fact, ever anticipate, if you're one of those people that says, I'm not planning on this, but knowing my luck, it'll probably happen. If you're one of those folks, go ahead, try to buy a hound that has some paperwork on it. That would be my suggestion. The old Crockett Cooner here would tell you guys, especially for folks that are kind of pioneering, for folks that are homesteading, that now live out in the country, in the outdoors. Maybe, who knows, maybe you have livestock and you're like, I need a good hound around here to keep the raccoons run out of the feeder troughs. Well, if that's the case, and then one of these days this might be part of your homestead, definitely, I'm going to say it, guys, cry once, pay once, and there you go. All right. But if you just don't care about paperwork, you don't care about any of that, I am also saying you can go to the other side of the coin. And I promise you, there are folks all over the world right now that have lines of hunting hound dogs that will chase raccoons and things. They have never, ever had a lick of paperwork. The Plot Hound is a pretty good example of that. For many years up in the mountains, there were folks that had particular lines of dogs, and they never had a piece of paperwork on them. But I promise you, folks, they're some of the finest hounds you've ever been in the woods with. And that is why they also offer single registrations on dogs. But that is a whole different talk. So if you have a dog that doesn't have paperwork, but one of these days you think he's pretty good, we need to get old Jack or Rusty or Skip or whatever its name is, a piece of paperwork on it, it can be done. But I'm going to save that for a different video, guys. There's more rules there. It depends on which registry or kennel club you're going under. So that's a whole different talk. But I wanted to stop today. I wanted to make you guys a video on hounds. I kind of wanted to talk both sides of the coin because I believe there's a lot of folks in the outdoor community, especially a lot of folks that are pioneering, homesteading, a lot of folks that live in very rural areas, especially, that are saying, you know what, I've always wanted to get into the hunting dogs and I don't know how to quite go about it. And that's what the old Cooner here is going to do, guys. I'm going to try to give you the information that I have collected for years now, 20 some odd years, been around this my whole life, to kind of give you your options in a way to see which way you might want to go with it. So you would know ahead of time. If you have paperwork, it'll be much easier if you ever decide to have puppies or anything and sell them. If you don't have paperwork, well, just makes it a bit more difficult. That problem can be fixed, but if you're only after hunting or a pet or both, you may not even care about paperwork. But that's kind of both sides of the coin there, guys. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Just want to stop, make you a small video this morning. I say it all the time, guys. Stay safe on the water. Stay safe in the woods. And if you're out chasing the old hounds around at nighttime, definitely stay safe out there too. You can't see stuff as good at night. And anyways, stay tuned here at the Crockett Coonhound Show. And myself and Scooter will have you guys another video dropping shortly. You folks have a great day.